What is going on? Welcome back to yet another normal baseball podcast. The wild card round is over. The division series has started. In fact, game one of the division series has already concluded. So let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to yet another normal baseball podcast. I'm Alex, normal dog. That's Lewis. And today we have our division series preview and our, wild card recap as well. We would have loved to film this before the actual division series started, but we couldn't. So yeah, let's just get right into it. If we're gonna start with our wild card kind of recap. Also, before this episode starts, I just want to preface that I am very tired. I got off a flight like 20 minutes ago.
In case anyone cannot tell.
It's also 12:35 in the morning, so I would like to sleep.
But fuck it, we ball, as they say.
Yeah, I'm pushing through. Lewis isn't pushing through. He's up till 3 in the morning every day anyway.
Oh!
So.
Gotta watch Korean baseball. That's the only reason why.
Right.
Quote
just
me
doing
on
his
it.
research. But yeah. So, the wild card round. We could start with the Guardians and the Rays. So the Guardians and the Rays, obviously, they played in their wild card round. The Guardians win 2-0, which I predicted perfectly. 2-0.
You did?
Guardians. Game one was a pitcher's duel between Shane McClanahan. The only difference is that Bieber only gave up a solo homer, and McClanahan gave up a 2-run homer, and the Guardians wound up winning that one 2-1. Jose Ramirez, 2-run homer, was the difference maker.
What a game. That first game was like what postseason baseball is all about. Like, only one pitcher on each side made a mistake, and it was just that McClanahan's mistake was with a runner on.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It was a fun game, and then you move to game two, which obviously do or die for the Rays. Not do or die for the Guardians, but do or die for the Rays. And this game was a marathon, considering the first game was only 2 hours and 17 minutes long. I believe the second game was 4 hours and 57 minutes long. So big difference. They went 15 innings.
Yeah.
Rather, they went 14 and a half innings of 0-run baseball. Tristan McKenzie started the game, and I believe Tyler Glass now started the game for the Rays.
Pitch count.
Yeah, 14 and a half innings of no-run baseball, 0-0 heading into the bottom of the 15th, and Oscar
Gonzalez.
Oscar Gonzalez, SpongeBob, decided he had enough, called game, solo shot to end it. Guardians sweep the Rays.
Good job, Guardians.
I mean, we both had the Guardians winning the series.
Yeah. I had them in 2, right?
No, you had them in 3.
I had them in 3?
Yes.
All right. Got the winner right.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, fun.
Very, very fun. I mean, if that were the series that you showed everybody to sell the wild card round, I think everyone would be more than in.
Yeah, I mean, the 15-inning game was kind of long. 0-0 in 15 innings.
And I mean...
And the Guardians had 7 hits. The Rays had 6 hits. It wasn't even like a bunch of hits, bunch of runners on scoring. Maybe a little earlier in the game, but once it got to the later innings, it was just like no runner on second rule, which honestly, it made me miss it. It made me miss the no runner on second for the extra innings. It did. I'm kind of getting too used to it.
That's a brave thing to say.
They went 15 innings of scoreless baseball. I get that it's fun to see, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I was like, Can someone please score? I don't care who wins this game. Someone just score.
I get that. But the Guardians did show cracks in the armor after game one. I mean, we saw them, like, both offenses got shut down in game one, except for one mistake, we just mentioned. But the Guardians, I mean, they had bases loaded with Jose Ramirez up, couldn't convert that, and their 3 and 4 hitters also could not convert on bases loaded with no outs, which was a little disheartening. Like, I kind of understand why the Guardians kind of went lackluster the rest of the way, whereas the Tampa Bay offense, I don't think their top 3 hitters, like their 1, 2, 3, got one hit.
Well, the Rays were not meant to be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
the Rays never had a shot, in my opinion, at least.
I thought that, when you get to the playoffs, anything could happen. Obviously, the higher seed moves on here. Let it be known also, this was the only series where the home team won, which was interesting.
It's true.
But anyways, congratulations to the Guardians. Moving on.
Guardians. Now they move on to play the New York Yankees. They lost game 1, final of 4-1. Harrison Bader with a solo shot, followed up by Anthony Rizzo, 2-run homer. And Garrett Cole with the phenomenal performance. The only issue with Cole at this point seems to be his pitch counts. He gets way up there in the pitch count, way too early in the game to ever think about maybe going 8 innings, even complete game, dare I say.
I think he got pulled today with 102 or 101 pitches to his name.
And he only went 6 1/3 inning. 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 4 hits. It was a phenomenal performance for playoff Cole.
What's crazy to think about is that that's his first time pitching in the postseason in the Bronx.
2020 you had 2020 was COVID year. 2020 was COVID year. That was his first season.
Yeah. 2021
was
Fenway.
just one game in Fenway, and he got rocked. But yeah, it was Cole, Loaizaga, Peralta, Clay Holmes, who glad he's in this series for the Yankees. And yeah, they just beat them tonight. It was really just Cole versus Quantrill who was going to give up more runs because those bullpens, both teams have good bullpens. I'd argue the Guardians have a better bullpen than the Yankees.
I, funny enough, would agree with you.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was battle of the starters tonight, and Cole was the better starter. Aaron Judge, I feel like it's a little significant. He went 0 for 3, walked once, but 3 strikeouts. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, the Guardians pitched him very well.
It seems like I saw it would seem that they were throwing just cutters away. That was the secret.
No challenge pitch. They
were throwing some challenge.
He got a couple, but not compared to the rest of the line.
The guy hit fucking 62 homers in the regular season. No shit, they're not going to throw him a challenge pitch. I wouldn't.
But it does look good for the Yankees that the rest of the lineup is hitting behind Judge because, any team would give up a walk if that meant the next 3 runners are going to get out. Next 3 batters are going to get out. Now,
well, the one time Judge walked, Rizzo hit a 2-run yabo.
Yeah, it looked great.
For kind of nailing the coffin.
Yeah.
So anyway, looking at the rest of the series, tomorrow we should have Sevi against
Nestor.
Well, not tomorrow, Thursday. Sevi. Oh wait, Nestor against Shane Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Sevi against Tristan McKenzie, and then should it get to Game 4 is to be determined.
Probably Garrett Cole.
But yeah, I don't think Garrett Cole would pitch on Sunday.
It would be on normal rest.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited to see the rest of the series because obviously the Guardians are a young team, but they also have that J-Ram sprinkled in who's like young but veteran. Their pitching is phenomenal. And the Yankees we've seen their offense fall dead at a snap of a finger. So with facing great pitching every day, like they will with the Guardians, the next start they're going to be facing Tristan McKenzie, who is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's their top 2, Bieber too. Bieber and McKenzie. I mean, I'm very interested to see because the Guardians lineup can also get it done on any given day. I know they've fallen a bit limp since the wild card series. I mean, they've scored they scored 3 total runs in the wild card series, all off home runs, and not to mention the Yankees in this game scored the same amount of runs they've scored in 3 games. So, I like the Yankees' advantages more in this series.
I'll agree with you. I agree. The Guardians, I mean, I hate to say it, they're trending in the right direction. I just don't think that this is the year that we see them advance far, just because, like you said, their offense can go dead. What are you doing? They can go dead. I mean, you can lose just off of one mistake. We saw that mistake from Bieber. Luckily, Jose Ramirez on the other side of the ball was able to make up for it. And that's really all that I got about that series. Do you want to do the prediction for it?
Sure. That's why I made my screen dark so you couldn't see my prediction.
Oh, that's fair.
So, which means you have to go first because mine's already set in stone.
All right. Well, give me Yankees in 4.
So 3-1 Yanks.
Yep.
That's the exact thing that I had. You can confirm. It's the exact thing I had.
That is true. That is what he has.
3-1.
3-1 Yankees. So we're both going to go with that. I think it's going to be
I think
McKenzie in Cleveland that gets the 1 win.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Probably on
Like,
what is that, Saturday, and then Sunday the Yankees will probably do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd hate to see Game 5 in this series. I could see a 3-2 victory. Wait, that's Game 5. That's what I'm saying. I could see a 3-1 victory, but I could not really see a 3-2 victory. Like, I don't see how this series would get to 2-2.
I think that the Yankees and Astros are still on a collision course with the ALCS.
The Yankees
looming. So I'm gonna stick to my guns and just say
the Yankees won. The Yankees won 5 of their 6 meetings in the regular season.
Yes.
And then I believe they pretty much dominated them in everything. I want to look up. How. I'm just curious now. I'm pretty sure Nestor Cortez had a very good start against the Guardians.
Was that not him sliding headfirst into first base bag?
He had 2 starts against the Guardians in that case because he definitely had one in Cleveland. No, I guess it wasn't against the Guardians that he slid into. No. I was at that game. That wasn't the Guardians. I forgot who it was, but it wasn't the Guardians, I don't think.
All right.
That was the White Sox. Okay, but versus the Guardians, Nestor, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Good.
I'll do that again.
It's a good line. That's Cole's line, but with 1 less hit and 2 less strikeouts. I'll take that any day of the week.
Doable.
And then let's see. Bieber has started against them. I think Bieber. I'm fairly certain Bieber got hit.
Yeah, he got tossed around, I think, but don't quote me on that.
No, I'm fairly certain he got hit, like, decently hard. I know they lost. I know the Yankees won that game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't do this right now. It's 12:46 in the morning. Just let me look at his game logs, please.
We're only through 1 series. We have 4 more to go.
Yeah, you're telling me. Okay, let's see. So, against the Yankees, Bieber. Did he not ever start against the Yankees? I guess not. Bieber. No, maybe I'm thinking of McKenzie. Because I know Tristan McKenzie won like 8 innings pitched against the Yankees and absolutely killed them. I believe that was the one game that the Guardians won, unless... I don't know. If they won... If they lost, it was by, like, a run. Let's see. I know for a fact. Yeah, okay. Against the Yankees on July 3rd, he went 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. And the Guardians won that game 2-0. So their one win against the Yankees this year has been the McKenzie game.
Yeah, McKenzie has their number as of right now.
We'll see if it happens again.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I mean, he's facing Luis Severino in Game 3, or at least he's scheduled to. So, in that case, Severino just came off a 7 no-hit bid against the Texas Rangers
Just
in
as
his
dominant.
last start, although he's on very long rest too. So I think it's going to be an interesting series, but I do think that the Yankees are going to pull it out. I mean, I could also see them going 3-0, but I'm going to give the Guardians a benefit of the doubt. A little gentleman sweep. Gentleman sweep.
Give Cleveland a little bit of something to celebrate. I mean, you guys, they live in Ohio.
True.
Not
Anyone living in
too
Ohio,
much.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next one, let's talk about we'll go back to the wild card series between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Big series.
Yeah.
Very fun, very exciting. I didn't quite see it coming.
Neither did I.
The Mariners hit Manoah in Game 1, which, good for them.
Yeah, it was impressive what the Mariners were able to do on both sides of the ball in Game 1.
They scored 4 runs off him.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Raleigh,
Big dumper.
2-run homer in the first inning. Really got the Mariners' postseason started off good. Luis Castillo went, I believe, 7 shutout innings.
7 1/3 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts, 6 hits, which for Luis Castillo, great line obviously, but he was very much, if you watched the game, he was more of a pitch to contact guy. Like, he did get his swing and misses, but he did allow 6 hits and only 5 strikeouts. You have to get out somehow. And it really came in the form of mostly ground balls, which was interesting because the only times that I've seen Luis Castillo pitch, he has been dominant to the point where it seems like the fielders don't even need to be there, which was interesting to me. But good for them, good for Luis Castillo. Looked great. I mean, that's why the Mariners picked him up for a game like this.
Yeah, and they signed him long term. Yeah, this was a good game. I didn't really see a shutout coming. I expected to see something from the Mariners. From the Blue Jays.
In Vlad's house.
Yeah, I mean, Vlad's house, surely you can't get shut out in the first game of the playoffs in Vladdy's house. I want to just check Luis Castillo really quick because I feel like his strikeouts,
What do you feel like, Alex? Tell me.
See.
But he was impressive. Cal Raleigh, like you mentioned, had a 2-run homer. And
yeah.
All in all, just one
Andres
crazy
Munoz,
game.
by the way, an inning and 2/3, in relief, 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts. He has some nasty stuff. I was watching the game. He's nasty. So surely the Blue Jays don't get swept in the wild card round in Vlad's house.
Well, let me go ahead and enlighten you on that. The Blue Jays, in Game 2, dominated just about, 85% of this game. They were up 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And, everyone was kind of, okay, Blue Jays took this one. Mariners, go out, win Game 3, get it done type of thing. Or Blue Jays go out and win Game 3. Carlos Santana comes up, hits a 3-run home run. Oh no, it's 8-4. And then after a few strung together hits, I believe a J.P. Crawford bases clearing double with the bases loaded brings them all the way back into it. The Blue Jays fall after having a 7-run lead to lose the wild card series, getting swept in Vlad's house. It is one of the biggest comebacks in postseason history, down 7 runs.
In the 7th inning, no less.
Yeah, and the big story was the J.P. Crawford double was a blooper into kind of like that Bermuda Triangle of shallow center field where Bo Bichette and George Springer collided. George Springer had to get carted off the field. Bo Bichette luckily stayed on. So get well soon, George Springer. But that was really, I think after that, it was sort of the turning point and everyone realized, hey, the Mariners are seriously going to come for this game. And they did.
Well, at that point, it was tied.
Yeah.
Of course, they're seriously going to come for the game when it's tied.
No, but I'm saying,
I'd argue
Their series.
when it was 6-9, and with the bases loaded, I'd argue that's like
Yeah,
if they don't do it there, they're.
then they're cooked.
But yeah, good thing that the Blue Jays don't have to worry about any more playoff games, so they could just let George Springer rest.
Yeah.
Adam Frazier, by the way, with the go-ahead double, top of the ninth.
Very clutch.
Very, very clutch. And yeah, Mariners sweep the Blue Jays 2-0. You got that, I believe, on the nose.
Did I know?
I don't know. It's not loading, so I would love to know. No, not quite. You said 2-1.
What did you say?
I said 2-1 Jays. So you were closer than me,
I was closer.
but not quite either.
And with that win, the Mariners will go on to face the Houston Astros.
Well, they already have.
And they already played Game 1.
They did play Game 1. Game 1 was a doozy, let me tell you. So the Mariners come right out of the box. Top one, Cal Raleigh.
Big dumper.
Single, big dumper. Scores a run. It's 1-0, Seattle. Off Justin Verlander, by the way, they're doing all this. Top second, Julio Rodriguez with a double. Scores 2. It's 3-0, Seattle. And Justin Verlander, 1.8 ERA this season. Not feeling great through 2 innings, giving up 3 runs already in the first game of the division series. Not to mention, Ty France singles, brings in Julio Rodriguez. 4-0 in the second inning. Flash forward to the third. Yordan Alvarez picks up a couple runs for the Astros with a double, makes it 4-2.
Which was mere inches away from being a home run. It bounced off the very top of the Crawford boxes, basically.
Yeah. And then we got J.P. Crawford in the fourth inning. Homer. And then a Ty France double again. A single first and then double scored Julio Rodriguez. So at this point it's 6-2. And the Mariners have scored 6 runs off Justin Verlander. It's looking good for them. But it was only the top of the fourth. Time to play in this game, as we would come to find out. Yuli Gurriel with a home run. Picks up a run. Eugenio Suarez says, no. Let me take that run back. He homers. Then moving to the bottom of the 8th, Bregman with a 2-run homer. Kind of puts it within reach. It's 7-5 heading into the bottom of the 9th. Paul Sewald pitching. Puts 2 runners on base. They take Paul Sewald out.
For who?
And bring in Robbie Ray to face Yordan Alvarez in the bottom of the 9th with 2 runners on. Only in the postseason do you really see starting pitchers come out of the bullpen. And Yordan Alvarez said, "Fuck you, Robbie Ray," and hit a 3-run tank to right field to end the game. And the Astros win Game 1 8-7. Incredible. I mean, what a game. Yordan
shock in the world.
Killed that ball. That ball.
I think, so, first off, Robbie Ray came out of the bullpen. Terrible idea. I don't think in that situation you pull your closer, your end guy, and if you're going to, you go to a different reliever. One of the things that I noticed when I was watching just that last at-bat is Robbie Ray works very formally. He's quicker. He's a starter, you know? Whereas the bullpen guys, they kind of go slower, and baseball in that moment, you can imagine that it's all about rhythm. And you put Yordan, arguably one of the greatest hitters in the playoffs, into a rhythm of a starting pitcher. I can understand why he was able to not, get contact. Luckily, it went well over the fence.
Yeah, I mean, the Robbie Ray decision...
Terrible idea. I don't, there's no world... I think that was the manager of the Mariners trying to be smarter than the game. And you can simply not be smarter than the game. You don't bring in
Yeah,
Robbie Ray.
I guess, but at the same time, who else are they bringing in?
You leave the closer in. You leave
I don't know. It's
If I'm the manager, I head out there.
Up to that point, he already gave up 2 runs in the inning prior, and gave up not only 2 runs but on a home run. I think it's a tough situation. I don't know if necessarily I would have brought in Robbie Ray. I think that was interesting.
I think that's the last guy that you ever want to bring in, and even then, I think sticking with your closer is still the best option. But if you're going to go to the bullpen, you don't go to a starter.
Yeah, I mean...
Especially a starter that they are going to see later in the series. Maybe on Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
Wednesday will be Luis
Friday.
Castillo. Well, rather Thursday, not Wednesday. They don't play till Thursday. Thursday's
Right,
Luis Castillo. Saturday, we don't know. Might be Robbie Ray. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the decision. Don't get me wrong. I think there were other options, but they made the wrong one.
Yeah.
And Luis Castillo. I'm not Luis Castillo. Robbie Ray gives
mean,
it all up to Yordan.
Terrible for the Mariners. This is what I'm going to say. Terrible way to get the Astros that fired up. You came out, and I wrote down in my notes that the Mariners dominated the game. They dominated the game even when it came down to the final, like going into the bottom of the ninth. I was still thinking, Mariners got this. They're gonna close it out. Like I'm not gonna stress about it too much for Mariners fans, but going to Robbie Ray, it made me throw all of that out the window. You gotta shut the door with who you know can shut the door, not with a starter. That's just my big takeaway: is don't bring in a starter to get out one batter.
I would disagree partly on that. I mean, I think the playoffs... I agree that in this particular situation, maybe it wasn't the best idea, which obviously it wasn't, turned out to be. But I do think the playoffs, if there's any time to bring in a starter to close out a game with only 1 out, it's going to be the playoffs. So, you see, this isn't a new concept. Starters come in to relieve in the playoffs every single year. I don't think it's an outrageous concept to ask your starting pitcher to get 1 out against a good hitter. I don't think it's terrible. I think in this situation it wasn't great, but I don't think in general it's as bad as...
No, I agree with you, but just I don't think that you try to lean on Robbie Ray, who has been not the
I said I agree. I said I agree for this
Yeah.
this one. Do you want to give your prediction for this series? I have mine written in stone, so you have to go first.
Of course. I have Mariners in 5.
Mariners in 5. Jeez.
And that was written prior to Game 1.
That is ridiculous because it's the Astros until it's not.
I know.
In the American League runs through Houston until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't.
So if it doesn't,
this is when it not?
I don't think it is.
This is when it not.
I have 3-1 Astros. I'll give the Mariners 1, but I mean it's Houston until it's not. It's after the dominance they've put together, not only through this season but through last season and the last season and the last season and the last season. You can't. I simply cannot pick against them.
That's fair.
So it's the Mariners till it's not. But you have 3-2.
It's the Mariners till it's not. That's what I've been saying.
It's the Astros till it's not. You have 3-2 Mariners. All right.
Yes, I do.
Respectable. Moving over to the National League. I guess more about that matchup. We didn't really talk much more about that matchup. The Mariners, significantly worse team.
But they size up well right now. Mariners are
right. They're riding the hot streak. I said it earlier. I said that they give me a 2019 Nationals kind of vibe, kind of being written off, but like they could beat the big teams.
Oh yeah,
they can do it.
Like,
they have all the utilities. I'd argue their starting pitching, Astros is slightly above.
Yeah.
Bullpen Astros is way above.
Lineups, they're...
I disagree. I think Astros lineup is significantly better.
But I think if we're talking right now, they are...
Then it's still close, but the Astros lineup.
Yes, the Astros are still above.
I think just the Astros are a better team in general. I'd be shocked if the Mariners win this series. Personally.
Runs through Seattle.
It's not run through Seattle. Nothing runs through Seattle. Things run from Seattle.
Not even Marshawn Lynch. Seahawks should have ran the ball. Let that be known.
But yeah, let's move over to the National League. first wild card series we could talk about is the Phillies and the Cardinals. I mean,
talk about a stone cold stunner.
I mean, what a series. The game one of this series looked to be Cardinals. Juan Yepes pinch hit 2-run homer to kind of make it seem like things were going to go well in St. Louis. They were going to win the game.
2-0 going into the top of the ninth.
Ryan Helsley comes in, top 9, walks the bases loaded, or not walks the bases loaded, but bases loaded, walks in a run, hit by pitch. They bring in another pitcher, and Gene Segura with a 2-run single gives the Phillies the lead, and they went on to score 3 more runs afterwards, and they took game 1 right from the Cardinals' hands and beat them 6-3. Incredible ending. I mean, Ryan Helsley gave up 6 runs in the months of July, August, and September combined. 1 game in October gives up 4 runs.
Yeah.
Sad.
Phillies, impeccable. I mean, not impeccable. Just exploding for that many runs off of a team that was like, yeah, let's just run through these guys real quick. That's got to be such a big motivator. And it proved true. That's why the Cardinals really couldn't string together anything big in the bottom of the 9th inning. They did stretch another run across, and honestly, I did pick the Cardinals to win in 2, and I still felt confident in that pick after game 1, which...
Well,
This is terrible podcasting.
How would you be still confident with them winning in 2 when they lost the first game?
No, I was still confident with just them winning.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't make... I'm no math guy. But
my turkey math does not check out there.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
But I just think that the Phillies exploding at the right time, like right at the very end of the game, was like what you needed if you're a Phillies person to push all that momentum off of the Cardinals going into game 2 and to, hopefully end the careers of 2 future Hall of Famers.
I don't know if that's what they had in mind. Let's go end their careers.
That's the only thing that I was thinking about. Like, holy shit. Albert Pujols.
That was quite literally the last thing I was thinking about.
Really? That's the only thing that I was
I'll
thinking
be
about.
honest,
After game 1,
I didn't really care.
Like,
they were retiring anyway. They weren't going to win the World Series.
I kind of had hope.
No.
I had hope that they would at least make a run.
They weren't making it past the Braves. Anyway. Yeah, so Phillies won game 1. That was game 1. Game 2, I mean, there wasn't much to it. Bryce Harper hit a nuke.
In the second inning, and then
Aaron Nola shut him down. The Phillies bullpen shut him down. Albert Pujols got a hit in his last ever career at bat. Yadier Molina got a hit in his last at bat. But the Cardinals lose game 2, 2-0, and lose the series. Get swept at home in the wild card round by the Phillies, the underdogs.
Yeah.
And I had the Phillies winning the series. I had them winning it in 3, but they clutched. They won it in 2.
They did?
They won it in 2.
Which was impressive. Round of applause.
I'll be honest. I remember considering changing that pick, and I was like, no, I'm sticking with it. Something feels right. And if I was going to change that pick, it wouldn't have made it 2-0 Phillies. So I'm happy I stuck with it.
Yeah, 2-0 Phillies was the last thing I was expecting.
Yeah. Sucks for the Cardinals. Like you said, Pujols, Molina, their careers are over. Wainwright, maybe he hasn't announced anything. We're not sure yet.
He's a psychopath. He might go another 5 years.
He's still got years left. He's like Brady. But yeah, so Phillies move on to play the Braves in the NLDS. And game 1 was very exciting.
Oh, yeah. Definitely game of the day.
Game of the day? What the hell? But this was the 1 o'clock game, first game of the division series. The Phillies jumped right on the Braves' back. Castellanos with an RBI single. Alec Boehm with a 2-run single. An RBI single. So at that point, it's 2-1. Travis d'Arnaud homered to make it 2-1, actually. Phillies tack on a couple more runs from a couple singles, sac fly, Nick Castellanos singles, 2-run single, 3 RBIs in this game for Nick Castellanos. So at that point, it's 7-1 in the 5th inning. Braves are looking like not great.
Braves are looking like a team that just had a week off, whereas their opponent did not.
Yeah. Bottom of the 5th, Travis d'Arnaud, 2-run double, made it 7-3, but like still no action till the 9th inning when they were down by 4 runs. And then just like that, Matt Olson. You rubbed your sock on the carpet in the mid, like, that's stop.
Okay,
It's 1 in the morning. Matt Olson with a 3-run homer to make it a 1-run ball game. But the issue with rallies and a home run is that it resets you. And the Braves could not get it done. And the Phillies won this game. 7-6. What do you think?
Scary if you are a Phillies fan, because watching the Braves break out late and then fall short would terrify me, because the Braves, they are a team to not forget, and I could definitely see them coming back tomorrow to take away another game, to take away their first game. Nick Castellanos going 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and also having that amazing diving catch was perfect way for him to start off this series, whereas in the wild card round, he literally did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that was that dive was very uncharacteristic of Nick Castellanos.
I mean,
he's not really known for his defense, and I mean, it was a good play.
That's him leaving it out on the field. I mean, I gotta tip my cap to that, because we see these slugger guys come out all the time. And Aaron Judge kind of broke that mold a lot in my eyes, where he became this massive slugger, but also crazy defender. And Castellanos changing his mindset in the moment right there to dive for that ball instead of letting it fall, and just living with the results of it. I loved that for him. I was very happy to see that he was doing stuff like that.
I mean, I don't know if necessarily Judge broke the mold.
No, but in my mind, that's how I saw it.
But yeah, no, it was fun. This is the Nick Castellanos game. Phillies take it. Max Fried, not too happy, gave up 6 runs. Only 4 of them earned, but I mean, not a great game for Max Fried. Certainly not great with that 10.8 ERA. But yeah, the rest of the series looking like it's tough, because I would say I think. Let's do our predictions first. What do you have as your prediction? Mine's already written. Let's do our predictions first.
Braves in 4.
Braves in 4. So you have 3-1.
3-1.
Braves. So you think they're gonna sweep? From here on.
From here on out.
I have Braves in 5. I think it's gonna go to a game 5. The Phillies. That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say, with these lineups and the whole roster, it's so tough, because the Phillies, they're riding a hot streak right now, and they are one of the streakiest teams in baseball, but when they get hot, they get hot in a good way, and it lasts for a while. So I fear that the Braves are going to get a run for their money in this series, especially because of what they did to their starting pitcher, their ace, Max Fried, in this game. And I know, like you said, not great for the Phillies' mentality that the Braves sort of almost came back in this game, but when you think about it, it was only off Eflin. The rest of their bullpen was pretty good, except for Brogdon, who only gave up 2 runs. But I don't know. I certainly do not think that the Phillies bullpen is reliable whatsoever.
Agreed, especially without David Robertson.
100%. David Robertson, maybe one of the funniest injuries. Got injured, pulled a hamstring or something like that. Pulled a hamstring jumping in celebration after Bryce Harper's home run in Game 2 of the wild card round. So they are without him for the division series, which is very bad. But I think their bullpen wasn't reliable beforehand, and now after it's even worse. So, but that's why I'm giving it to the Braves. But I do think the Phillies can potentially ride their hot streak just to Get another win. Yeah. I think maybe Game 3 they'll win, and they'll go up 2-1. Braves will win the last two.
And to circle back on the point that you made of, like, you know, the Phillies are one of the hottest teams in baseball. One of the streakiest teams in baseball. The only team that I could see stopping a streak like that, besides maybe like the Astros, would be the Braves, because the Braves pitching staff is just so dominant, and coming in with that monkey on the back of Game 1 of like, hey guys, we got lit up. Like, there's no way to get around it. The Phillies got the better of the Braves bullpen. And it's just that, the Braves in general.
I was going to say, not their bullpen.
Yeah, and it's that cut and dry. And
they actually...
Coming in, I mean, who's starting for them tomorrow? I want to say it's Spencer Strider?
No. Spencer Strider was injured for the later half of the season, so I don't know necessarily when he's going to be starting for the Braves. Kyle Wright is supposed to start, who has been phenomenal. Oh, yeah. Absolutely phenomenal.
But, like,
let me see if...
he's got to come in and realize, like, he's not just pitching for himself. He's not just pitching to not let up runs. He's pitching to get back at what the Phillies did for Game 1, because they're kind of all
Spencer Strider
hyped up.
Spencer Strider, by the way, got the extension from the Braves.
They did.
They're really good at buying out arbitration.
They are good.
I'm trying to find their roster. They never posted their roster, which you would figure, unless they posted it yesterday. I just want to see Spencer Strider's on it, because I actually haven't seen.
I would not be surprised if he got left off of it, but I just assume.
No, I feel like he is on it. All I know is that he ain't starting. Okay, here we go. He's not on it.
Yeah, but also let it be known that
he is. I take that back. They couldn't fit it on one page, so they brought it over to the next page.
Nice. So the Braves also had plenty of opportunity to score. 3. Like, they had bases loaded twice and didn't convert any runs in 2 separate innings.
That's more of just a Braves thing.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I'm not too worried about that, because their lineup can get it done.
Oh, yes.
They're not one of those lineups that just goes cold. They're not going to go cold.
They're the defending world champs for a reason.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident in the Braves.
I'll agree with you. You had Braves in 5, I had Braves in 4.
Yeah. So, moving on to our final kind of set, we have, moving back to the wild card, Mets versus Padres.
Padres.
Boy, oh boy. Okay, so Game 1 of that series, Max Scherzer coming out for the Mets. Game 1!
The $40
Game
million
1!
Man.
$43 million a year.
For
the
this
ace
game
of the Mets, with DeGrom, the ace, comes in. First inning, he's ready. Josh Bell, 2-run home run. Puts the Padres up 2-0. Trent Grisham, solo home run. Put the Padres up 3-0. Jurickson Profar, 3-run home run. Put the Padres up 6-0. Manny Machado, solo home run. Put the Padres up 7-0. Eduardo Escobar, hit a home run. Yay. But, the Padres absolutely killed the Mets. Yu Darvish.
Shoved. Per usual.
Mets fans were scared of Yu Darvish.
For a reason.
For a good reason. He shoved. He shoved against the Mets. He went, 7 innings pitched, no earned runs. Or I guess 1 earned run. Yeah, but it was the one to Eduardo Escobar, so not as big of a deal.
He looked dominant.
He was. He looked dominant because he was dominant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yu Darvish, good for him. Jurickson Profar was big in this game too.
Yeah, going 2 for 3 with a 3-run home run. Max
the Jurickson Profar game is what some people are calling it.
That's what I'm going to call it. And Max Scherzer, in his Mets postseason debut, I mean, going into this, Mets fans and even the Mets front office and everybody else, this is why they signed him. They wanted him to start that first postseason game in the stadium and to just get absolutely silenced, quite literally, by Jurickson Profar and Ha-Seong Kim was the last thing I think anybody on the planet was expecting. Just a bad look. I think Max Scherzer was trying to play through an injury, something with his shoulder or his elbow. Just he didn't look right all game. But even then, Max Scherzer has been known to pull himself out of the game.
I feel like
he needs to pull the plug there.
I don't know. I feel like if he was injured, we would have seen something by now. I don't think he was injured. I think
he just didn't feel right.
I think he just didn't have it. Well, yeah, but you can't. If I was a starting pitcher pitching in a playoff game, give up a couple of runs, I wouldn't go up to my manager and be like, "Take me out."
So, well, we
know Max Scherzer. Oh yeah, of course. I wouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, I would
have thrown a perfect game. Yeah, 27 pitches.
81 pitches for me.
But yeah, no, I that's not what Scherzer's going to do. Scherzer's not going to go up to Buck Showalter and say, "Take me out of this game." At that point, it was 3-0. 6-0. Oh, shit. It's 6-0. Why would you take him out when it's already 6-0? Who cares at that point? Manny Machado gives a home run. Fine. Now we'll take you out. It's 7-0.
Yeah, I mean,
they were losing this game anyway. Scherzer could have given up 2 runs.
Yeah.
And they would have lost. Scherzer could have given up the home run to Bell. That's it. And they still would have lost.
I mean,
the Mets offense was not there.
Shit. That motherfucker jumped it. Where'd he go?
He was under the thing. The Mets offense was not there the entire game. So.
Yeah, bad look for game 1, but congratulations, Padres. Looked good.
Congrats, Padres. Yeah, they did look very good.
Game 2.
Game 2, we move on.
I'll let you do game 2. I'm doing game 3.
No, I'll do game 3 too.
You said both numbers.
All right, you go for game 2 then.
I wanted to do game 3. Okay.
Yeah, but I want to celebrate the Mets' downfall.
Jesus Christ. Game 2, Mets came back. And for game 2, looked very, very dominant. Looked like the Mets that we saw throughout the regular postseason. They were able to pull out a 7-3 victory over the Padres against Blake Snell, who another good pitcher on the Padres pitching staff. Jeff McNeil went 1-for-4 with the clutch 2-run double that kind of kicked off the big scoring that gave such separation. With DeGrom on the mound too. Let that be known. Just that's like the Mets game. That the Mets beat them with a couple homers, along with, getting sneaky on the base path and trying to stretch that double into trying to stretch the single into a double type of thing. It was just an all around Mets game.
Yeah, some are calling it the DeGrom game.
Yeah, some are calling it the last stand.
You said they were dominant. I'd call them DeGrominant. DeGrom went 6 innings pitched, 5 runs. 5 hits, 2 earned runs. I don't know. I don't know if the Mets offense was necessarily as dominant. They kind of just got to one pitcher was mainly the thing. Yes, they scored 2 runs off Blake Snell, and if there's anyone talking about pronunciations, it should not be you.
Hey, pronunciations
and they scored a run off Nick Martinez. I think they really got to Adrian Morejon. They scored 4 runs off him.
Real?
Without Morejon, this would have been a tie game. This game could still be going on right now. But the only reason I say that maybe the Mets lineup wasn't as dominant and just kind of got on one pitcher and hopped on one pitcher is because of the next game.
You were way too excited to do this game.
I'm way too excited. So, game 3, New York. They're back in the New York groove. It's the New York Mets. They've won game 2, brought it to a game 3. They're going to move on and play the Padres until they run into a dog named not Blake Snell.
Not Blake.
Until they run into a dog named Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove.
Musty
throwing gas. Absolutely shutting down the Mets lineup. Top of the 6th inning comes. They've scored no runs, no hits. They are in the bin. They are done for. At this point, who even cares who scored the runs for the Padres? They scored on a bunch of singles. Every single run they scored this game was on a single. Joe Musgrove going off. Buck Showalter something's not right.
Is that your Buck Showalter present? Something's not right. From the start, he was feeling every ball that was thrown out of play. It was annoying me.
How does that annoy you? What does Buck Showalter feeling up Joe Musgrove's balls have to do with you? You like watching Joe Musgrove's balls getting fondled by Buck Showalter. I mean, that says a lot about a person. But yeah, anyway, Buck Showalter has Joe Musgrove checked for foreign substances. Nothing was found. I will admit, his ear was very glossy.
Yes.
I see why he may have believed that.
But thank you, Andrew McCutcheon, for hopping on Twitter and explaining to us what the hell that was.
Yeah, we don't know if that's exactly what it was.
I'm going to believe him until proven otherwise.
I believe him, but I don't want to say that it was 100% true. Because we don't know if it was 100% true or not. Could have been icy hot, right? Fire them up.
Yeah, might as well.
Could have. That's what Andrew McCutcheon says, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or like, what do you
red
say?
hot,
Red
something
hot?
like that.
Same thing.
Basically, it was just something to fire up the pitchers.
Right, it burns.
Yeah.
It burns. And when you're in pain, you're probably going to pitch with more oomph, you know?
How do they say it in France? No pain, no gain.
Something's not
right.
But yeah, Musgrove was not too happy about that. He proceeded to go another inning, or another 2 innings. Gave them the what's that? Kenny Powers after one of the strikeouts. Crazy. The Mets got 1 hit this entire game.
Yeah.
This entire game, 1 hit, no walks, 1 walk.
Yeah.
1 walk, 1 hit, but they faced,
Hashtag these Mets.
Yeah,
make it out of the wild card round. Their entire season came down. I get that you guys won 101 games. I get that you guys just lost to the Braves in the division, everything, like, blah, blah, blah. You can't lose that game. There is just no world where you lose that game. I really wish I was recording all that. There's no world in where the Mets lose that. Like, there's... Your whole season comes down to 1 game, and you get 1 hit?
Yeah, they're the first team MLB history to win 100-plus games and not make it to the division series.
Mets will Met.
Mets will Met. As Metsy as it getsy. Could have been the Dodgers last year, but it wasn't, because they actually won the wild card.
True.
Even if this was a 1-game wild card, the Mets would have still lost.
Mets would have lost.
Says a lot. Anyway, yeah. Mets are out.
Do you want the
Dodgers
exact quote of what Joe Musgrove said?
Not at all.
Because I enjoy it.
Go for it.
Joe Musgrove had said, when he was asked about Buck Showalter having the managers check for substances, he said, "I've seen him do it before. I get it. They're on their last leg. They're desperate, and it is what it is. It motivated me for a bit, fired me up, an opportunity to stick it to them just a little bit." Which... Joe Musgrove had already went 6 innings of no-hit baseball. The last thing you want to do is add more fuel to the flame.
Right. Gotcha.
Like, I get that Buck was kind of, like Joe Musgrove said, he's done it before, trying to just throw him off of his game a little bit, make him worry, make him think that he's doing something that he's not. Joe Musgrove just looked at Buck and went, "I'm going to keep slinging it."
Yeah. No, I love it. And, the Padres were throwing off Bassett's timing this entire game.
What
they kept calling
strategy.
time. Yeah, no, it was working. It was great. Yeah.
It got to him, too. Like, he got really, really pissed off with it.
And the Mets are out now, so...
No!
It's fantastic.
They're not back in the groove.
As Metsy as it gets. We knew it was coming to
Well,
some point.
hashtag these Mets sucked. So...
Yeah. So now they could turn Citi Field into a Spirit Halloween, and we'll
and
get
a golf
on,
course.
as they normally do.
And a golf course.
As the Mets spend their Octobers at home.
Right.
The Padres move on to play the Dodgers in the NLDS, and Game 1 has
Just
already
finished.
happened.
Trey Turner.
Do we want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. So, the
You have all
Padres...
this, I don't have any of it.
Okay, I got you. So, I was on the plane for this entire game. Let me just preface that. So, bottom of the first inning, Trey Turner comes out against Mike Clevenger and hits a solo shot to put the Dodgers up 1-0. Just like that.
Game's over.
Also in the bottom of the first, Max Muncy singles. That scores another run, so it's 2-0 Dodgers at this point. Already in the first inning. Got to feel good for them. A Will Smith double in the third inning made it 3-0. Followed up by a Gavin Lux double, made it 4-0. a error by Will Myers with the bases loaded made it 5-0.
Cody Bellinger. You can get him to roll over and you can't complete the play.
Yeah. So at this point, it's 5-1 in the bottom of the third. Feeling good for the Dodgers. Julio Urias, whatever you want to call him, doing good up to this point. However, when we make it to the fifth inning, the top of the fifth inning, Will Myers, solo shot, Trent Grisham, an RBI ground out, and Austin Nola, a sacrifice fly. So just like that, they tag Urias for 3 runs. However, that's all they would get as the Padres fall 5-3 to the Dodgers. Yeah. Dodgers take a 1-0 series lead.
Trey Turner did not shy away from the moment. Solo homer, the double, like you mentioned. Seeing the ball well, the entire Dodger lineup is just built to play in these type of games, and they did not shy away from it at all.
No, and the Padres have a tough time beating the Dodgers, too. So,
we saw that all regular season. They won 5 games, right?
Yeah, they're currently, after tonight, they're 5-15 against the Dodgers this season and postseason. So, I mean, that's terrible.
That's impressive for both.
But at the same time, what team isn't 5-15 against the Dodgers? Like, no, I know not exactly, but you know what I mean. Like, what team does good against the Dodgers? They're the best team in baseball by far.
The Pirates.
It's true. Anyway, but best team in baseball by far. I mean, it sucks for the Padres that they're running into the brick wall that is the Dodgers. But
I think
bound to happen at some point.
If hypothetical world, if the Padres, let's just say, got a pass into the NLCS or even won this series, I could see them knocking off the Braves or the Phillies. I could see it. With how good the bottom half of their lineup has been and with how star-studded it is at the top, it could happen with the pitching to go with it, which is crazy to say. But obviously, I think, like you mentioned, running into that brick wall of the Dodgers is something that seems impossible. You want to drop your predictions?
No, you're first.
I'm first?
I'm the Iron Curtain over here until you pick.
Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5?
Yeah.
That's funny. I had the exact same thing.
I think that there will be...
I'm willing to change mine to Dodgers in 4, just to be different.
That's weird.
No.
You're going to change your prediction that you had pre...
No, you know what? No, that's what the Iron Curtain is for. So I'll wait. I'll be fine. All right, Dodgers in 5. We both have Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5.
I mean, like, I think the Padres, it's playoffs, so nothing in the regular season counts. So right now, currently, all that they care about is the fact that they're 0-1 against the Dodgers.
Right.
I think they can win 2 games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also could see the Dodgers winning the next 2 games.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary.
But I hope for the sake of baseball and for entertainment purposes, give me some Padres wins sprinkled in there. Have it go down to a Game 5. Make it fun.
It's a little tough.
I think
the Dodgers are just so beyond good. I mean, I get that the Padres have Darvish going tomorrow, but the Dodgers have Kershaw.
I think going into San Diego is where we will see the Padres kind of thrive. I feel like that crowd is going to be really, really hyped. First playoff home game since 2006, I believe, which is just a crazy long time ago at this point. I think that the Padres are going to rally behind and with their fans to kind of steal a game, but I could also see a game in Dodger Stadium getting dropped by the Dodgers. Like, it's everything's so up in the air because it is the playoffs. Just like Juan Soto said in his pregame interview, like, it doesn't matter. Anything before today does not matter. All that matters is that we go out and play the best brand of baseball that he can. And sure, they couldn't put it all together tonight, but it's a series for a reason. It's not football, you know?
Yu Darvish, I do like that sentiment. I was just deep diving into Yu Darvish against the Dodgers this season. He's been good and bad. I mean, he's had a couple of no runs, 7 innings, 6 innings, no runs, and then he's had 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 10 strikeouts though in that game. He's been good against the Dodgers. So I think there's hope there. Kershaw obviously is Clayton Kershaw. So playoff Clayton Kershaw.
However, he is Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, I heard. The
Rumor
sources.
on the street.
Although playoff Clayton Kershaw.
I think Passan just tweeted about it.
About what?
Him being Clayton Kershaw.
Okay. Although playoff Clayton Kershaw is very different than normal Clayton Kershaw.
Really?
So, we'll see. I think, obviously, the Dodgers have a better team all around than any team in baseball. Their lineup is incredible. I mean, Mookie, Freddie, Trey. You think their lineup isn't incredible? Don't try to make some outlandish take. The Dodgers lineup isn't incredible.
But they're the best. I think the Astros kind of have them just squeaked out there. Best all-around team.
I disagree.
I think the Astros are.
Have you seen the Dodgers bullpen? Have you seen the Dodgers starting pitching? Have you seen the Dodgers lineup?
There's no Craig Kimbrell in that bullpen.
If the Astros and Dodgers do happen to make it to the World Series, the Dodgers are going to win this one.
Oh.
But that's if.
That's just a theory.
If. Which, we'll see. But, it's the same thing with the Astros. The NL runs through LA until it doesn't.
True.
I mean, granted, they haven't won the NL the last however many years, but
you gotta beat
especially
them to
this
go
season,
win the World Series.
Exactly. Especially this season, the pennant runs through LA.
Yep.
So if you're gonna win the pennant, you're gonna have to go through the Dodgers.
What has it been? The last 4 world champions have had to beat the Dodgers, and the only time that the Dodgers didn't get beat was in 2020.
Braves beat the Dodgers.
Nationals.
2020, the Dodgers won. Nationals beat the Dodgers. Astros. Well, no.
Well,
Red Sox beat the
and
Dodgers.
Astros.
Astros beat the Dodgers. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm a lefty.
And did the Cubs not beat the Dodgers?
No.
I think they did in 2016. The Cubs.
I thought they beat the Mets in the championship series.
The Cubs beat the Dodgers in the CS. Yeah. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. We did pretty good.
Yeah, what time is it? 1:34. Wow, it's incredible. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Can't wait to sleep.
I'm tired. I'm Lewis.
Wow, I'm gonna kill you tonight. Anyway, yeah, that's been it for this episode. I'm excited to watch this Dodgers Padres series.
I'm not excited to stay up.
They don't even have a Game 3 starter yet. Like, they don't even care. They're just like, you know what? They could throw out some guy they found out. They can throw out Craig Kimbrell. He's not even on the roster.
Braden Mimbrel, and he's going to be.
Oh, we didn't even. Aroldis Chapman, by the way, his Yankee career's over. It's over. Didn't show up to a mandatory meeting. Stayed in Miami. Off the ALDS roster. He's been terrible. They were going to DFA him earlier this season. They didn't, but they were going to. It's over. It's over. And for our homer draft, my Angel Hernandez had 75 Grand Slams, so I believe I took over.
Well, no, you're forgetting Ron Washington did have 76 Grand Slams. So I hate to break it to you, sweetheart.
No, I think that's false. I was watching the Braves games. I didn't see any Ron Washington Grand Slams. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. It's been a great one. And
what's your snaps?
Let's go baseball. Let's go baseball.
Let's go baseball.
Everyone, make sure you're watching Division Series. We might do some watch-alongs this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see. Or maybe during the week. You never know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.